Over the next 12 weeks, I am going to document exactly what I'm eating, how I'm training, and what I am doing day to day to get absolutely shredded. Each and every video is going to be very much day in the life sort of stuff with an emphasis around nutrition and training and how these develop over this entire process. What I am also going to do each and every single video is sit down with you one-to-one and explain one subject in complete detail so you can learn for free along the way. So before we continue and get into day number 1, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the journey and learn for free along the way. Day number 1, let's go baby. Straight onto the scale, everything off, some very lightweight joggers. We're currently weighing 77.7. Starting the morning off by getting in the steps. The minimum number for the step count is going to be 10,000 per day. And the easiest way I do this is to break this up into 3 30-minute walks for the day, just getting it, most of it done first thing in the morning. If you get 5,000 to 6,000 done in the morning, you'll easily do the other 4,000 to 5,000 just for general daily activity. Also, hydrating before caffeinating. Now I do work full time at sitting at a desk all day, so rather than sitting at home, I'll use a coffee shop as my office. Now the next few hours I spent completely still focusing on my other business, but here comes the first calorie consumption. Lunchtime and time for the second 30-minute walk of the day, shortly followed by breaking the fast. Gonna have something that's relatively low calorie, but still keep a decent amount of protein in the first meal. So for lunch, we have got 4 rashers of turkey bacon along with a poached egg in a bagel. Altogether, this is around 340 calories and around 40 grams of protein. So while on the subject of food, this brings us to the most important part of the video, which is the educational segment. For the next few minutes, I'm going to explain to you exactly how to work out what and how much you should be eating to lose fat and build muscle at the same time so you can make the same transformation. To start with, how much you're eating matters a whole lot more than what you are actually eating. Let me explain. So to keep this straightforward, you need to consume a certain amount of food, energy, calories, whatever you want to call it, to maintain your current body weight that you are now. Eat less than this figure and you will lose weight. Eat more than this figure and you will gain weight. Realistically, this means it's a numbers game, which is good news for you because it means you haven't got to cut out every single food you enjoy in order just to lose a few pounds. For example, if I ate 1,000 calories of Oreos every single day and you ate 4,000 calories of salad every day, I would lose weight, you would gain it. Now, when I say this, a lot of people come away from that conversation thinking, great, I'll eat 1,000 calories of Oreos every day and look like a Greek god, which isn't quite the answer. Now, eating too little calories is going to make this an extremely unenjoyable experience and you will be miserable throughout. You'll have no energy and you will feel terrible. You also mess with your hormone levels, and even too little calories means you will lose a ton of muscle mass in the process as well as fat, which is not the goal. Now to cover off the Oreos part, eating poor quality foods, again, will just make you feel terrible. You'll have no energy. Your hormone levels will start to dip. You will also have terrible skin, terrible sleep, and the list goes on. So it is important to choose good quality foods. There's just no need to cut out all the crappy ones altogether. Now that that's cleared up, the starting point is going to be working out what your maintenance calorie level is in order to maintain your current body weight. So you can follow either one of the sums on screen dependent on how you track your weight. For example purposes, I am going to follow the kilos ones because that's how I weighed myself this morning. So as we saw from this morning's weigh-in, I currently weigh 79 kilos. The 79 times 33 is going to give us 2,607 calories for the day. Now, this is based on a moderate level of activity. I walk roughly around an hour a day, or around 8,000 to 10,000 steps per day. So if you move less than an hour a day and not very active, I'd shave off around 200 calories from this estimate. If you are extremely active, have a manual labour job, move more than 2 hours a day, let's say, I would add 200 calories. Now this figure is not going to be exact, but it's going to get you in very close shooting distance of the right number. If you think I'm talking then these figures are based on the latest Harvard medical study. So in order to lose weight, I need to consume less than 2,600 calories per day. But how much less is a sweet spot? So there are 3,500 calories to 1 pound of fat. So let's say the goal is 1 pound of fat loss per week. We'd take the 3,500 calories and divide them over the 7 days. That would give us a 500 calorie deficit per day, which would mean 2,600 minus 500, I have 2,100 calories to consume every single day. So I want to lose 8 kilos, which is about 17 pounds. So that means it's about a 17-week cut that I need to go on personally. Again, going too low in calories will have its negative effects, and you'll also start losing muscle mass. So I'm going to push this figure slightly and go into a 700 calorie deficit per day, but that's as much as I would take it. However, if you weigh over 90 kilos or 200 pounds, I would cap the cut in calories at 2,400 as you have a little bit more to lose. So pushing my deficit to 700 calories a day, that means I'm going to have a calorie budget of 1,900 calories every single day. So now I know where I'm at with calories, which is the main point in this process. What about the macros? Your macros are your proteins, your fat, and your carbs. Now it's important to keep a balanced diet across all three. There is zero benefit to cutting out an individual macro group. A lot of people demonize carbs, they demonize fats, but there's no real relevance behind this other than selling a few diet plans. No one macronutrient group will make you fat. Over consuming too many calories, it's what will make you fat. But when it comes to macros, I'm going to keep this nice and simple. I'm going to track my protein level, but not pay too much attention to the fats and carbs, as long as I have a fairly balanced diet. Reason for tracking protein is key when it comes to muscle growth. Also, protein will keep you fuller for longer. So the more protein calories you consume, the more full and satisfied you'll feel for a longer period of time, which, trust me, is essential when it comes to going onto a cut. So what's the actual figure when it comes to protein? Now, a lot of people online tend to just share or follow the 1 gram per pound of body weight. Now, although there is no negative effects of going with this sum, this is not actually quite the right figure. When you actually dive into studies and look at the research behind it, it's actually more towards 0.82 grams per pound of body weight, which means 1 gram is just slightly overkill, but again, not a negative impact. At 79 kilos, I weigh around 174 pounds. So 174 times 0.82 gives me around 142 grams of protein. That is going to be my minimum standard of protein every single day. So in summary, I have a calorie budget of 1,900 calories per day, and I have to hit as a minimum standard 142 grams of protein. So I hope that helps. I hope that all makes sense. I hope it was easy to follow along and work out your own figures based on what I just explained. If you do want a full breakdown of your carbs, your fats, every single macronutrient group, the benefits of each and every one, and to be honest, everything I've possibly learned over the last 12 years about lifting, fitness, and nutrition all put together, then use the code YouTube for 50% off all programs. So this morning's caffeine, nice little bit of lunch, around 500-600 calories in total in the bank, and it's time for the best part of the day, which is to go and train. Today we are going just to train abs. It's technically a rest day. I only ever lift 3 times a week, but I get bored, I like to go to the gym, and I want to make sure my abs are popping. Anyone that says you don't need to train abs for a solid set of abs is lying. Okay, now on to the actual training in the gym. So first exercise is going to be hanging leg raises. Now the reason being for these straps is because your range of motion on your shoulders and your grip can be limiting factors. You want to take your abs to failure, not just your grip. Now the next thing to mention is going to be the range of motion. A lot of people start with their legs all the way down. All the way down to the first 90 degrees is pretty much just tension on your hips. From 90 degrees upwards, pulling your knees into your chest and letting your spine flex is going to put more tension on the abdominals. Hence why I stay in this range of motion, keeping tension on the abs throughout. Next movement, we have weighted crunches or cable crunches. So again, the point here is to let the spine flex. A lot of people are in the habit of having a straight back and doing more of like a praying motion. My key tips here would be to keep your toes on the ground, as you can see mine are in the video. Make sure your hips are not coming backwards and forwards throughout the movement and are fixed. And then just focus on contracting the abs. So as you come down, you want to put your elbows towards your knees, and then make sure your spine is flexing and letting the abs stretch at the top. As you come up, you want to stay tense and slowly let the abs stretch while they're still engaged. And then to finish off, we are going back to knee raises, but this time in a more controlled environment on an incline bench. As you notice again, the spine is rounding. I am pulling my knees into my chest as far as I possibly can, and then slowly coming down and not rushing that way down on the eccentric part of the motion. Also notice I'm not resting at the bottom. As soon as my tailbone reaches the bottom, my abs are stretched and I am coming back to contract again. Gym done, abs absolutely wrecked. Now the afternoon, what we're going to do is go back to work, get another coffee and crack on. Now just before holiday, it's time to get this absolute mop cut. Looking a little bit more fresh, although it is pissing down. Afternoon snack, we have Weetabix with some grenade milk opposed to normal milk and a little bit of banana on top, which is delicious. This is how we spend our nights these days. What are you playing?
Your mama.
So we did make a nice delicious curry, but she fucked it. So
you made it.
Yeah, she fucked it. So yeah, we're going for a nice little Nando's instead. And the final meal of the day is a butterfly chicken with some peri chips from Nando's. So here are all the meals for the day, along with the total macro split and calorie split. Now, that is the end of this episode. I will catch you in the next one. The next one, the one-to-one, is going to be covering cardio, what you should and shouldn't be doing throughout this process, and what's going to be beneficial. And it's not probably what you think it may be. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel to catch the next episode.